How are we getting on, people? I hope you're all okay. We'll be going live in just a moment. Just going to grab a drink quickly and then we can crack on. Take this time to grab a drink yourself. And if you have any questions before we do start, then let me know. But yeah, I thought we would try this out. Probably do this for a little over an hour and then see how we get on. Give you guys the opportunity to learn from what I'm obviously providing you guys with, but also give you the opportunity to profit alongside me in any scalp-like positions that I do go into place today. So yeah, as I say, I'll be back in just a moment. Just going to grab a drink and then we'll crack on. Okay, so before we do crack on with any analysis, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me, and also that you can see my screen as well. As you're going to need to be able to see my screen for today's session. So yeah, just someone leave a comment below just to let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, and you can also see my screen, and then we'll just crack on. Okay, so if there are any pairs as well that you guys want to see me analyze and look to trade today, then leave those suggestions as well in the comments, and then I can obviously look to do that and analyze those pairs for you. But ultimately, what I'm going to do is just go over my Forex watch list as of now, give you an update on how I feel price is playing out, and what we can look to do moving forward and how we can look to profit moving forward. So we'll start off with XAU USD. I'm going to be creating a case study video on this pair in the coming days anyways, but just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So if we look at this market as an overall thing, so what I like to do first and foremost when I look to place positions in the market is figure out what the overall bias of this market is. So I like to zoom out, go as high as the weekly time frame, and really zoom out so we can see the data that price has been putting in over the years. So I mean, looking at this, it is quite evident that this is very much a bullish market. We are looking at a precious metal here. This is something that is always going to rise in value and is always going to be worth something, as this is a precious metal and it's what currencies are backed on. When we have recessions and we have collapses in the economies and in the markets, we can expect that the value of these precious metals is only going to increase, yeah, because this is what we fall back on. So gold, silver, all that good stuff, we can expect that it's only going to increase. So realistically, we should be looking for bullish opportunities, and we should be looking to buy into this market as a longer term thing. Now, it doesn't mean to say that we can't look to go short in this market, taking advantage of those higher time frame corrections and taking advantage of any bearish moves that we get presented by. you'll come to realize that over, for those of you who have been with me for some time, there's a lot of you that have been with me for some time now, you'll understand and you'll know that I am probably more a bear than I am a bull when it comes to trading the markets. I was looking at my data sheet, and the majority of my positions that I place in the markets are short positions. Now, not all of them, so it doesn't mean to say that I'm just biased to sell into a market, but I do often sell more than I do buy. So I do like to look for selling opportunities, but nevertheless, we should always keep in mind what the prevailed trend is and what the overall structure of the market is, because we want to be following that. Reason being, if we are trading with the majority traders, then we're more likely to be successful in those trades, because we have the support from other retail traders, corporate companies, banks, things like that. So looking here, obviously we know that this is a bullish market, but what we've been presented by as of recently, now just looking more at present data, so this goes back to as far as 2020, okay, we can see that price has been putting in some highs and lows. So if we just mark out these highs and lows, you'll notice that we have a high and a low. We then have a equal high, which suggests that there is a lot of a supply waiting within this area that is stopping price from surpassing higher, taking price higher. Tells me that the supply and demand balance is probably in favor of supply, as we are seeing price stick around this area. Then what we've been delivered with is a lower low. So that straight away for me is a suggestion that price could potentially be going bearish, could potentially be putting in a higher time frame bearish move lower, and I'm going to add to that in just a moment. But you'll notice here that we have had the production of a lower high as well now, so realistically what would follow would be a lower low, and we would have the production of clear bearish structure. So we have a high, a low, a equal high, a lower low, a lower high, and then followed by a lower low. As we know, that's clear bearish structure. And if we are looking to be part or take part in bearish structure, we should be looking at selling into a bearish market. So sorry, this is bearish structure. If I said bullish structure, I mean to say bearish structure. This is clear bearish structure. So obviously when we're looking at bearish structure, we want to be sellers in those markets. Now the key points to get involved in bearish structure is at the end of a correction and the start of the next impulse. So the impulse is this here. And you might be wondering, Luke, why are you going through this? I already understand this. If you do, then happy days. For those who don't, obviously this is going to be important for you to understand and realize for future reference. So the impulses in bearish structure are obviously the legs that take us lower. The corrections are when price comes back up to correct itself. So this here is a correction. So I'm just going to get that and attach that to that, attach this to this. Okay, so we understand now that in bearish structure we have impulses that take us lower, the corrections take price back higher. Okay, so we want to get involved at the end of the correction and the start of the next impulse. Why? Because if we can get involved in sell positions here, let's say, or sell positions here, then we can really refine our stop loss, having it just above these protected highs, because as we know in bearish structure, the highs are protected and the lows aren't. So we could have our stop loss just above this protected high, and we can take full advantage of the entire swing low, taking us lower in the market, right? So a key place to get involved, as I say, would be at the end of a correction and the start of the next impulse, just like this. That would be a perfect position right there. We don't want to be getting involved in short positions midway through a correction, because our position is going to trail up, put us in a minus before it takes us into a positive figure, and we definitely don't want to get involved at the start of a correction either. We can get involved in the middle of an impulse. Realistically, we don't want to do that either though, because we don't know how far it could go, and again, our risk to reward ratio isn't going to be as good as it could be. So we always want to be looking to get involved at the start of the next impulsive wave and the end of a correction. So now that we understand that, we can look at this market and we can go, okay, well, we have the impulsive wave, we have a correction, we have another impulsive wave, we have another correction. This should be, in theory, the next impulsive wave taking us lower. So we are within a perfect place to now get involved in those short positions. So what I like to do is go down on time frames when I understand the overall structure of the current market. So yes, this market is bullish overall, but it is within a bearish phase. This could be a higher time frame correction that is taking place before price then goes on to create new highs that have never been created. So what I like to do is go down on time frames and look for areas at which price could give us selling opportunities. So you'll notice here that I've highlighted these two supply zones. These are supply zones that I wanted to see price reverse from. And I'll show you these now. You can see that this highlights this whole last buy to sell region. This is an unmitigated area within price that price needs to come and trail back up into to grab any remaining supply in order to flip that supply and demand balance. You can see that price trailed us up. We took advantage of some temporary buy positions. Price then delivered us with some great bearish structure, giving us the opportunity to get involved in bearish in short positions. And then we have seen since price put in that higher time frame correction, taking us up and into this higher time frame supply zone that I've also got highlighted out. So we took advantage of some buy positions throughout this next phase that took us higher and into this market. Yeah. So it was good, and it was great that we were delivered with some bearish structure here, because as I say, it allowed us to get involved in those short positions. But now we're at the same approach, and I'm hoping that price is going to have a full reversal and is going to put in that full corrective higher time frame wave, taking us lower into the market, like so, like the path that I've drawn out here. You can see I'm wanting to see price trail us all the way down now and take us lower into this market, as I feel price is going to do that. And we want to basically look to get involved in short positions. Now, the reason why I feel price is going to go bearish as a longer term thing is because if we look here, so yes, we are within a bullish market. Clearly, this market is bullish. We have the production of higher highs and higher lows throughout, but we haven't had a higher time frame correction like this happen in a very long time. So if we just look at it in this way, this might give you a better understanding on the whole process. So if I just get my path tool out, we look at this as a low, a structural low, this as a structural high, this as a structural higher low, this as a structural higher high. We then need the production of a structural higher low, right? So we need to look at things on multiple time frames. So this is the structure that we expect to happen throughout the extreme higher time frame. I do apologize, bear with me 2 seconds. Apologies there, people. I just had a parcel arrive. So, just going back to this. So, obviously, we are looking at this market, and it's important that we look at things from multiple standpoints, and we look at structure within structure, and we look at all the different time frames, and look at the structure within each time frame. So, if we're looking at the extreme higher time frame structure, you can see that we have bullishness, clear bullishness. We've had the impulsive wave, a corrective wave, impulsive wave, and now we are within that corrective wave. So we're expecting price to go bearish as a longer term thing, yeah? So we understand now the direction of this market. This market needs to put in another higher low before it goes on to put another higher high, right? So we are within a bullish phase, within a bearish phase, should I say, on the extreme higher time frames. So then if we go back down, so let me just delete this because we don't need that anymore. Then if we just go down and we look at this structure again, we can see that we have the deliverance of this, and which is suggesting bearishness, which tells me that price is ready now to go short as a longer term thing. We've had price respect and react to these supply zones. and now we just need to look for shorter term or fractal structural points to get involved in. So if we just go down to the 1 hour time frame, it might be as low as the 30-minute, in fact. Let's have a little look. 15 minutes, yeah. So if we look here, you can see that I have highlighted this last, I'm just going to delete this as well. I've highlighted this last buy to sell region here. The reason why I've not highlighted the entire green, this entire thing, is because price puts in a red candle afterwards. So that's clearing anything before this red candle, essentially. So we would go from the red candle all the way to the end before price goes bearish. So this is the entire unmitigated area that we want to see price trade up into, okay? So at the moment we are seeing price put in or put in and it's accumulating basically. So what price is basically doing is preparing for a short move higher, and I'm expecting that when price taps into this, we are going to be delivered with a lot of supply, which should, in theory, break structure to the downside. It should flip that supply and demand balance. So yeah, we are simply waiting now for price to come up, tap into this supply zone, deliver us with valid breaks of structure and changes of character to suggest that this correction, because this is merely a correction, has finished and the next impulsive wave taking us lower is underway. So again, if we just look at this, we have the production of clear bearishness. We just want to see price now trail us up into this, deliver us with its next leg lower. That's where we look to get involved. That is clear bearish structure. Yeah, so we had, this was the last structural low within this bullishness. Price came down to surpass that, so that's the clear break of structure there. So that confirms the end of this bullish correction taking us into this zone. So now that we understand we are within a bearish move taking us lower, we now just need to find the right opportunity to get involved from. So again, I'm just waiting for price to trade us into this zone. We will then be delivered, hopefully, with a valid BOS, fractal one, and then we can obviously look to get involved from there. So if I just get my brush tool, we can expect price to come up, set a structural low, come back up again. It may set a lower high, or it may set an equal high, but what we are looking for is for a break of structure to present itself. This would be a valid break of structure. Price would then trail back up, tapping us into a fractal supply zone, so just like this, but a fractal supply zone, and then we can expect price to trade us lower. We would get involved from this fractal supply zone here, okay? So if you look at gold and you're looking at trading gold, I would look for short positions, but we just need to wait for a penetration of this supply zone here, anywhere between 2019 and 2028, okay? We can obviously set our take profit. You could set it at the higher time frame swing low, which is probably where I would set it, all the way down here. So we are looking at a very large take profit. 1814 would be our take profit target, and then our stop loss could be refined, very refined, above this fractal supply zone that we find. Or if you wanted to stretch it a little bit further, you could have it as high as this point here, but it would be unnecessary if we had a valid break of structure and the deliverance and we saw price was respecting this fractal supply zone. We could have it as low as this, which would give us a risk to reward ratio of a 1 to 41. So people think it's crazy that, the strategy that I have and the way that I trade is crazy. People don't tend to believe it at first, but then if you look at videos that I've done, if you look at my profit sheets, proof of trades that we've placed in the VIP chat, it's very possible. It's just about understanding the overall structure of the market and how we can really refine it through time and find key zones and areas to get involved from. But if you guys have any questions or any queries regarding my analysis, please just leave them in the comments. I want to see comments being left. I want feedback. I want people to ask questions. That's the whole point in this session. I want people to learn from what I'm showing you, essentially. So yeah, any questions are welcome. Fire away. Again, if you want me to go over a specific pair as well, by all means do so. Just leave them in the comments, and I will be sure to analyze those pairs for you. I know some of you guys like to trade specific pairs. So if there's something you want me to go over, by all means, let me know. And if you were unsure about anything in terms of my analysis, how I like to trade, again, let me know, because we can use this as a way of you guys learning and getting a better understanding. The next pair that I am going to go over is Great British Pound to the US dollar. What I'm going to do is just make sure that alert's set there, so it is, and I'm just going to draw my path tool back just so I can remind myself what exactly we want to see. But yeah, this week has been quite slow in terms of trading opportunities, literally just because we are waiting for price to put in the structure we want to see. Now, if we wanted to get involved in this market as a fractal thing, and those scalp like trades like you guys wanted, we could do that. All we would look to do is we would look to get involved in buy positions, because we understand that price is having to put in this bullish move to take us into this supply zone here, yeah? So we could look to actually get involved in buy positions temporarily. So what I would do is I would look within this current market, and I would try and find any unmitigated last sell to buy regions that suggest areas of demand that I can look to trade from. So looking here, I would say this is probably an unmitigated area. This here, this entire candle. Everything else that has cleared that. That has cleared that. That has cleared this. Everything else looks to have been cleared. I'm just going to have a look at previous data. This would be considered an unmitigated area in price. As we can see, price has actually tapped into that and tapped lower, so that's fine. So that's already been cleared. Is there anything else? Doesn't seem to be anything else. So I have no reason to suspect that price should come lower than this here then. So in that case, if we want to look to get involved in buy positions in this market, what we want to see is price trade us into this, take us lower, and then take us higher up and into the market. So I'm going to set an alert here for you all. If you want to mark out this zone as well for yourself, people, by all means do so. We're looking at 1979 to 1980. Okay, I'll highlight it on here for you. 1979 and 1980. Oh. What we want to see, as I say, is price trade us into this, deliver us with good rejection to the upside, and then obviously we can look to get involved in those buy positions, trading us higher. The reason why we want to wait, I mean, yes, we could place buy positions here, but if you place the buy position right now here, price is only going to trade us down before it comes down, and then obviously take us up. So why would we want to risk putting our position in a drawdown, or in a minus figure, when we can just wait for a more refined entry? You can see here that we walk away with a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, or if we placed another position down here, we can really stretch our take profit all the way up and into this zone. Stop loss just below the zone itself, we walk away with a 1 to 24 risk to reward ratio. So we're looking at much greater returns by being patient and waiting for price to deliver us with the structure we want. Now, another unmitigated area actually, maybe here, although I'd beg to differ that price is probably going to come as low as this point. So let's see how price reacts anyway. It'll be very interesting to see how price reacts. As we know, it's all about being patient in this game. So let's wait for price to trade us into this, and then we'll look to get involved in those buy positions on this market. I've set an alert anyways there. What I do want to do is set another alert here just to see if we can get price to break beneath this. Great British Pound to the US dollar. Let's have a look, see what's going on. I think this is a bit of a write-off, to be honest, at the moment. We're just seeing price put in a distribution. Price is preparing for a move taking us lower. I think that's pretty evident by the behavior of it recently. When you've been trading for a few years, you'll understand how the market plays and how the market does things, and we can see that we have large impulses, large corrections, and we can see how it slowly slows down to the point where now we are literally trading within this range. Price has not left this range. So I'm thinking that price is basically preparing to distribute and take us lower into this market. So again, we could be looking for short positions on this market. We just need the right confirmation to enter, basically. Gold buy position could be coming very soon with this. I'm just going to move this a bit closer. I'm just going to get my phone out ready to send it to the clients that aren't able to watch the live. Again, if you have any questions, people, please leave them in the comments below. And obviously, because we know that price is kind of coming down into this demand zone, we could have looked to have gone short here as well. So I mean, price was up here originally 1988. It's now at 1986. So if you did place any short positions before buying, then you will be up 20 pips by now. So I'm buying XAUUSD. I'm obviously not looking to buy just yet, but we will be looking to buy very soon, assuming we are delivered with that confirmation that we want. But price is playing out exactly as we predicted, which is really good to see. So our stop loss is going to be around 1978, 50, let's just say. So we've got a really tight stop loss, which is good. And then our take profit is going to be all the way up and into 2019. So 2019. Which is giving us a 190, so that's 190, so that's 390, 400 pip take profit. So 400 pips divided by 15, 400 divided by 15 gives us a 1 to 26, that should be right, 1 to 24, something like that. Lovely. Super. So now we are literally just waiting for price to continue doing what we've predicted. So we could have looked to go short. So if anyone did jump on any short positions based on me saying that we want to see price come down before we want to see price come higher, then well done. You'll be in some good profits now on any short positions that you've placed. But we are ultimately looking to go long as a longer term thing. So we'll just wait patiently here for price to continue playing out. I'm going to set that alert a little bit higher just so we can catch it before it happens. And I'm also going to set an alert just above here so we can be alerted if price does actually go on to set a new high. Because this was another area of interest, as I said, that price may look to grab demand from before trading us higher. So it'll be interesting to see how it reacts from this zone. But I do believe we'll see price come as low as this point. So Great British Pound to the US dollar, that's going to be a write-off. NZD CAD, we want to see price trade us into this supply zone here. And then we can look to go short. Price is approaching the supply zone. We are literally just waiting for the penetration. And then we just need to wait for some break of structure to be delivered. Confirmation that this correction taking us into this is finished. And that the next wave taking us lower is underway. Okay, so again, we are literally just looking for that third and final piece of confirmation. So for price to continue trading us up, setting a structural low, breaking structure to the downside, and then we can look to get involved here. Break of structure, price tapping back into a supply zone, a fractal supply zone, we can get involved in those short positions. Yeah. So that is my look on NZD CAD. Again, if you want me to go on the higher time frames, if we look here, price is within a bearish phase, so we just want to be following that trend, taking price lower, trading with the majority traders, and that's all we've done. We've literally just managed to find a supply zone up here, highlighting a last buy to sell region. This candle right here has been left unmitigated. Price hasn't come to clear that. We have some inefficient structure below as well. So we want to see price come and trade up and into this before taking us lower ultimately in this market. So again, I'm going to set an alert. If you guys want to do the same, highlight this area out, by all means do so. Pause the video now and highlight this out on NZD CAD and set an alert as well. I'll be setting an alert around 0.84150. I want to see price traders into this, and then we can look to get involved in those shorts. Now, in terms of temporary buy positions, we can definitely look to do that. Price looks to be pulling back actually into a demand zone. So let me just highlight this out, this right here. Could look to be going long on this market. We just need to see if this holds. Is there any other unmitigated areas? Let's have a look. There is quite a bit of inefficient structure actually below. Be interesting to see though if this holds or not. This could be an area of interest right here to look for long positions. Again, if we were placing long positions here, we would have our entry somewhere around here, stop loss just below the structural low, take profit set just below the supply zone here. Gives us a 1 to 8 risk to reward ratio. Again, we need to wait for price to give us the confirmation in order to enter. What I'm thinking is if price is still respecting supply zones, we'll see price actually come up, tap into this, and maybe continue trading us lower. So we'll just see what happens here. If we see price reject, trade above this, then it would probably suggest that actually enough demand was sitting here in order to push price up and higher, breaking these highs here. So let's just see how price trades and plays out. I'm going to set an alert just below this to see if we can break. If we break that low, then obviously we don't want to be looking to enter. And if we see price break above this, then obviously that's confirmation in itself that price is actually found enough demand from this zone for us to look to buy into this market. But again, that's another potential trade that we could be looking to place. We just need to wait for that final bit of confirmation. Euro USD. Let's have a look. Another market that is putting in a corrective wave at the moment. So we look at the daily time frame. Clear bearish structure. So as a longer term thing and as a higher time frame aspect and look at it, we want to be obviously sellers in this market. So when we look at this, we should be looking to go short. Now you'll notice that I didn't highlight this and I didn't highlight this. The reason why I didn't highlight this is because this low here doesn't come lower than this one, which means that this is still the last structural high. This is not a structural high here. Well, actually, this is the new structural high, with this structural high going on to break this, but it's part of this high. This whole entire thing right here is just one high, okay? Just because this didn't go on to create, obviously this low here went on to create this lower high, but this didn't come lower than the last lower high in the market. So it's actually this is the last structural high, this is the new low. So what we want to see is price come up, tap into one of two supply zones before delivering us with further bearishness. So you can see here that we were delivered with a break of structure, so we'll just delete this. You can see here that we were delivered with a break of structure to the upside. That suggests to us that this bearish impulsive wave taking us lower has finished and the next bullish correction is underway. We've seen clear bullishness throughout. We just want to see this continue and trade us into one of two zones where we can then obviously look to go short longer term, yeah? So if I just go down to the 4-hour time frames, I actually highlighted this out for, there's a video that I posted just the other day actually, and I said that I wanted to see price react from this zone, taking its next leg higher. Price has done exactly that, so that's good to see. Let's have a look and see as a shorter term thing, how can we look to get involved in this market? Well, I feel price could pull back, grabbing more demand before trading us higher. There is a lot of unmitigated areas within this. We look at this is an unmitigated last sell to buy region. Price comes to tap perfectly into that and trade us higher. But then looking here, we have a lot of unmitigated candles. So price could, in fact, fall lower, tapping into one of these before taking us higher. We could also see price trade us into any others that have been left over. This is another one. This is another unmitigated last sell to buy region. So I'm going to highlight this out as a potential. So what we want to see really, if we have the inkling and the thought that price could be continuing bearish, what we would look to do is we would look at the last structural high, which is this one, and we'd look at the low that created it. Well, as a higher time frame thing, this is the low that created it. Okay, so we look at this as the last impulse that took us higher, this to this. So what we would want to see realistically is for this low to be broken. So a BOS would be needed here. This would confirm further bearishness. With us having the confirmation of further bearishness in this market, we can then look to go short. Just get my POF tool. So we want to see a BOS take place. Price will pull back into a fractal supply zone and then trade us lower, hopefully, into this demand zone where we can then look to trade price higher as a longer term thing. So I'm going to wait for a break of structure to present itself to us here. Once that's happened, then we can look to go short based on a pullback. Let's have a look. So we'll just get rid of that there. Just going to go down to the 15 and 5 minute time frames just to see if price is only coming back up at the moment to tap into an unmitigated area. I'm almost guaranteed that's the case. Yeah, so we can see here, look, we have another last buy to sell region. Pull this across, you can see price comes to tap perfectly into that. Now if price decides to continue trading higher, it's to tap into this one here. So I'm just gonna do like that. That would be the second zone, and then we can expect price to continue trading us lower then. Okay. There's a question on there. Let me just see what it says. What is a mitigated candle? So the most simplest way of explaining a mitigated or an unmitigated candle is, I could actually show you a live example now. So this right here has been left unmitigated. Reason being is because there is, for the fact that this sell candle has been created is because there's sell orders that have been placed within this 1 minute candle, okay? And they have been left unmitigated. So the reason why they've been left unmitigated is because, and this is why it's very important to understand open and closes of candles. So this candle here, for example, closed here, which opened this red candle here, okay? This red candle went up, this red candle went down, this red candle then came back up to here, closed on the 1 minute, and then this new green candle opened on the following minute, right? Now, when this green candle opened, it just shot up. It shot up without coming back down to clear any sell orders that were left here. So it's shot up to the top of this wick, and it's closed somewhere here. It's then opened the new candle there, and then obviously so on and so forth. So with that being said, there are still orders that have been left unmitigated within this red candle, if that makes sense. So that's why it's very important to understand candle opens and closes, and obviously understanding mitigated and unmitigated areas. Now, if we look at, let me just see, and you'll notice as well that the markets will follow a pattern always. Markets, have wicks for reasons, and they tap into things for reasons. So I want to show you some key examples here. Let's have a look. I just want to show some really easy examples just for you guys to be able to get a bit of a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. So here, for example, okay, so this market is clearly within a bullish phase, all right? So we look at, let me get my POF tool out. So we look at this and we go, okay, we've got a low, a high, a low, a high, price pulls back. Okay, so we've got clear bullish structure. So when price is pulling back, it's correcting itself. It has to correct itself only so long before it finds more demand lower down in the market. Price found demand in the market. Why? Because again, this was a last unmitigated sell to buy region. This candle right here. If we drag this across, you'll see that price comes to tap into this perfectly. Price comes back down, taps into it. It grabs more demand from the downside. That pushes price higher. And this rinses and repeats itself over and over and over again. This wicked in here to tap into this candle. We had an up thrust taking us higher. It happens over and over again. Let me just check NZD CAD. Okay, perfect. So price has traded us lower, breaching beneath this zone. Let me not delete that. And you can see as well that price came to tap up and into this area in price. So I'd zoom in. Pull this down slightly just to cover the candle. Price came to tap into this zone and has since traded us lower. So again, it's following these unmitigated areas, these supply and demand zones. So it's still within this bearish move. So that's absolutely fine. So what we want to see now is price react well from potentially this one here. Just drag and make that a little bit bigger to cover the entire candle. I'm just going to see if there's anything else. I don't recall there being anything else. You can see that price came to tap into this one here. So you'll notice that this happens over and over and over again. You can see how price tapped in. So price, look. Price came up to set a high, price came down to set a low, price went up to set a new high. And you see that price came down to tap into this unmitigated region. And this happens over and over and over again. So understanding that is extremely important. I'm just going to see if I can find any other candles that are suggesting. Doesn't look as though there is anything else. No, it looks as though everything else has been cleared. So realistically, we want to see price react from this zone here. So I'm going to set a new alert. I'll leave that one there. I'm just going to set another new one here. And I want to see price react from there. Going back to Euro USD. You can see how this is an unmitigated candle. Price is really struggling to break beneath it. This is because there's a lot of demand waiting here. So what I'm thinking is, we just go back down to 1 minute time frames. I'm thinking price is going to, price could grab enough demand here. That's going to give price temporary bullishness. That temporary bullishness is going to trade us up into this zone. That zone is then going to provide us with enough supply to flip the market. And then that's when we can look to go short. So let's just see how price plays on that. Any questions, by the way? Any other questions, let me know. But for the most part, like these markets have been, the markets have been quite relative this week. I'm hoping next week we'll have a bit more. It'll be a little bit easier in terms of, not easier as such, but we'll be given some more trading opportunities. I mean, for me, I would consider myself an intraday trader, so I'm someone who places positions and I'll hold them for at least a few hours, right the way through to a few days or entire week. I look at longer term moves rather than shorter term moves. So looking at the fractal nature of the structure like this now, it's definitely achievable. We can definitely still place positions because the strategy is still the exact same. All we're doing is looking at supply and demand zones, taking advantage of that, understanding structure that is presented to us. So there's no harm in placing fractal like positions, but to provide them to you guys as a, you know, in the Telegram group chat, on the VIP chat, to actually send these out and for you guys to get involved in them quick enough, that just worries me. So I don't often place positions in the VIP chat that are more fractal like trades like this. But doing it live like this, you can see exactly what's going on. There's very little delay within this stream, so you'll be able to see exactly what's going on and obviously take advantage of what I'm analysing for you all. But yeah, see, price is doing as I predicted. I'm expecting this bullishness to trade us into this zone, and then we can look to go short. So again, I mean, if you placed a buy position here, happy days, you'd be in profit. Looking at 5 pips at the moment. It might not seem like much, but if you placed a long position here where price was, you had a stop loss just below the zone itself, you'd be up 1 RR at the moment. If you risk 1%, you'd be up 1%. If you risk 2%, you'd be up 2%. But let's just see if this continues anyway. We want a break of structure there, a fractal break of structure. We deliver the fractal break of structure. That tells us that this fractal correction has finished. The next wave taking us higher is underway. And then I'd be confident in saying, look to place those buy positions. It's important that we're obviously delivered with all means of confirmation before entering. So I want to see price break structure here. Assuming that it is, I'd be confident in saying let's place those buy positions. So it'd be just like so. But yeah, again, any questions, let me know. Let's have a look at this. It's fine, we're seeing price trade beneath this, and I want to see price come down into this zone. Deliver us with a break of structure to the upside. Trade us into this zone where we can then look to go short longer term. So I'm just neatening things up for us, just so if people dropping in and out, they can just see exactly what we're wanting to see price do, and then you can obviously place your positions however you want to place them. XAU USD. So price is played out really well with this market actually. If you guys placed any short positions from the start of the live, well done. You will have profited nicely on that. So I was saying to potentially go short from 1989, price went down as low as 1982, so that's 70 pips you could have capitalized on short positions on XAU USD from the start of the live. I am wanting to see price continue trading us lower. Price is probably just putting in a fractal correction here before taking us lower and into this zone, and then we can obviously look at longer term buy opportunities in the near future. Let's move that there. But yeah, price is playing out really well here, really well. XAU USD is one of the markets that I've traded since I ever started trading Forex, so it's something that I do familiarise myself with quite well. You can see here price has come up, tapped into this demand zone here, and we should see price now break this low. I'd like to see price break this low, trading us into this, where ultimately price should reject to the upside, and then we can get involved in those longer term buys. But anyone who got involved in those shorts, well done. You'll have profited nicely there. It would have been a really refined stop loss. Short position there to there, like that, there. Yeah, we're walking away the 1 to 4 there, so anyone who got involved, well done. What I'm going to do now is actually move this just above here, because realistically, if it is to respect to this demand zone, this should be the new protected high within this bearish correction that's taken us lower. Yeah, so we shouldn't see price surpass this high before it trades us into this zone, because there is literally nothing left that's been unmitigated up here. So there's no reason for price to break this high before it trades into this zone. After it's traded into this zone, absolutely, we want to see price break that high. We want to see price then trade us higher. But for the time being, I'm not expecting price to break above this high. Price is bleeding out and trading beneath this, so I would say this unmitigated last buy to sell region as a second potential. So if price continues trading us lower, then we would just look at readjusting. So we never were delivered with a break of structure here, so that invalidates that as a setup. So now we just want to see price deliver us with a similar thing. Trade us into this, trade us down. So we can close that. This would be now considered the next protected high. The reason why this is the new protected high is because the low that it went on to create is lower than the previous ones. So this is now the new protected high. If we have a break in this, then we could potentially look to go bullish. So what I'm going to do is set an alert there as well. And also set an alert here. Great British Pound USD, that's a write-off. NZD CAD. Price is tapping into this. Probably going to clear that. Tap into here, traders lower. Yeah, as you can see, we've got more bearishness on this. So we had a second opportunity to get involved in sells there. Again, any questions, leave them in the comments below. What I'm going to do is I'll probably wait for this trade to play out. So we've got a full position underway. And then I'll call it a day with this stream. But we'll wait and see how price plays out for these few pairs at the moment. So perfect, price has tapped into there. Rejection. We could look to sell here on this market. Euro USD. We have a break of structure here. We want to pull back into a fractal demand zone. We can look to go long, where we can then look to go short. XAU USD, NZD CAD, let's have a little look. So price is trading above. Is it going to trade above? Euro USD. So price has broken this high now. So has recent fundamentals come out? So let's just check fundamentals. Check fundamentals. Okay. What do we have today? So it's 3 past 3, so we've got 5 past 3. Right, okay, so we've got revised UMO, UOM, consumer sentiment. 130, we had that. Yeah, so the results have just come out, which are actually, let's have a look and see. So it's actually the same. So the forecast is the same as the previous forecast. Okay. And this is just the level of composite index based on surveyed consumers. So that's obviously going to have an impact on any US dollar pairs. So let's have a look and see. So price is traded above that, price is traded above this. So then we could look at this impulsive wave for any unmitigated candles to pull back into to trade us higher. But I mean, ultimately, if we can get price to tap into this, enough supply should be introduced, or here, should be introduced to then obviously trade price lower anyways longer term. But yeah, any questions, people, let me know, and I'll be sure to get them answered. What I'll also do as well is show you a sneak peek. See if I can get this up. So this is what I'm working on at the moment. It's pretty much done, and will be available to everyone. Oh, 1 second. This is what I'm working on at the moment for you people. So you'll see here if it decides to sort itself out. Okay, so this is obviously the profile page. So this is the page that, you know, the front page basically. You would have your information here, so all the relevant information there. On here, what you'll be able to do is set goals and targets. As you complete those goals and targets, you have a completion bar that will, you know, become further done as you complete more tasks. So that's that. Same applies with this one. So you'd set your goals and targets, your 5 main goals, Forex goals, and then your 3 targets for the year. And we would do our best in assisting you to get those things boxed off. Okay. So you have all of your, you know, your main things on the front page. Then your trading performance overview. Click on this. Takes you to the next page. This is where you're going to be able to see your trading performance over time. So we had a starting balance of 70k. We currently have a balance here of 200,000. Yeah, this is obviously just examples. Further down, we can look at your win to loss ratio, your buy to sell ratio, and your currency pair ratio. So this will tell you what you sell or buy more of. Do you buy more or do you sell more? Are you considered a bear? Are you considered a bull in the markets? This is going to show you your win to loss ratio. So 70% win rate, perfect. I've lost 4 trades, won 14, and I broke even on 2. This is going to show you what pairs you trade more often. And you might be wondering, why are these things even important to understand, and why are they important to know? The reason why they're important to know is because if you can look here and say, okay, I've got a win to loss ratio of 75%. The majority of the trades I place are short positions. Then you should be looking at placing short positions. Okay. Again, with pairs here, what pairs do I trade more often? What you can do is then you can assess that. Well, actually, I trade Great British Pound CAD more than I trade any other pair, and I'm usually successful when I trade this pair. So it's a way of refining your strategy, your edge, your trading plan, just to help further assist you. You have quick links to Forex Factory. So obviously Forex Factory being where we do all of our fundamental reports from, where we look at fundamentals and anything that could impact the markets basically. Here is your mood and trading performance. What this is designed to do is to give us a good gist of how your mood is impacting your trading performance. So, you know, when your mood is 5, how's your trading performance? So when your mood is 1 out of 5, if it's 5, how is your trading performance? Is your trading performance good? If it is, perfect. It's because of your mood. Your mood is going to assist that. So when your trading performance is 1, what was your mood like that day? Were you stressed out? Were you angry? Were you upset about something? Was there something that was giving you or impacting you emotionally? And this is what's designed. This is designed to help, again, filter things through, find what pairs are best to trade for yourself personally, what positions you should be looking at trading, what type of mindset you need to be in, and really refining things to the point where, you know, if you are in a bad mood that day, don't even look to place any positions. You know what I mean? Because looking at previous data, it's evident that when you're in a bad mood, you often lose trades. Yeah. Additional notes. So this is just where you'll be able to put additional notes. In fact, I think, bear with me 2 seconds. What I'm going to do is just change, because I believe this is, 1 sec, this is the other one. This is the older one. Bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just adjust this because there was actually a newer one that I've done more work to. So bear with me 2 secs. Sheets. There we go. We can see as well with this pair, it's trading us lower more so. So again, if you did place sell positions in this market at the start of the session, well done. Should be up nicely on that. Just going back to this, we'll be alerted if anything changes with those markets, so don't worry. Okay, let's just adjust that. Right, so yeah, you have obviously your completion bars, things like this. The reason why I was showing you the other example is just because there was data already in it. But I've actually changed this. So at the bottom here, what will happen is we'll have trade performance feedback and pointers. So what I will do on a monthly basis for the first 3 months of when someone has this or purchases this is I'll put feedback in here, so I'll have access to it as well, and I will put feedback. So I'll say maybe look to only trade on days that your mood is above 3. Once you've read and understood it, you would tick this, okay? And then when I come back to check next time, I know that you've read and understood, and I can clear that off. So then we can say that, you know, you've read and understand that, and we're implementing that and see how you get on. Because ultimately, this is not only going to be a way of you know, refining how you trade and refining your way of trading, but it's also going to be a tool that we can use to help assist you in becoming a competent independent trader. Yeah. So the LAGFX calendar. This calendar is completely functionable. So you go to February, it'll take you to February. You can put in anything you want. So today's my birthday. We may have the NFP on the first Friday of every month. So it'll be the NFP here. You know, you can put in the NFP there. You know, it basically all correlates perfectly, and you can put in all this information if and when you need to. So the calendar is obviously very useful if you need to check on something. You know, you could be, what we do obviously at the end of every week, we haven't done for the past few weeks, but what we usually do is we give fundamental reports out. So if there was a fundamental report that was due and what we had out, what you could do is then you could fill out your calendar with any fundamental news that would impact the markets. So then when you look at this, you'll know, okay, so at 1 o'clock we have the NFP, or, you know, we have some kind of speech that may impact the markets that I'm looking at. So this is just another way just to factor in those things, or it can be used, you know, to put your dog's birthday on, things like that. So that's the calendar. Then we go over to the daily planner, which is the next page. This here is going to be something, so trade 2, 3, and 4, and 5. You can just clear these off after you're done with them. But ultimately, sorry.
Okay, I found this on the web for this year. Is going to be something so trade.
So I apologize for that. I don't know why Siri's trying to speak to me. So here, obviously, you would just put, you know, you would have your step-by-step guide, and then once you've ticked all of these boxes, perfect, you followed your trading plan exactly as you should do. Hopefully it's a profitable position. Boom, you place another position, you do the same. You know, you go through your whole trading plan, make sure that everything is ticked whilst you're doing it. And then once you're done, click clear, and then you can go again. So again, these can be changed and edited accordingly to your trading plan. These are just to my trading plan and how I like to trade. So this is obviously, these can obviously be changed to suit your trading plan and your needs. Compound interest and lot size calculator. So equity size, let's say 500. I have, so it automatically works out 2% of your equity. which is £10. So let's say that we have a trade. I send a trade out to the guys. That trade has got a 25 pip stop loss. Perfect. It automatically allocates that £10 to here, which is part of the formula. That gives you your lot size straight away for you. So the only thing you need to change is your stop loss in pips. Obviously your equity size will change as you win or lose trades, but the only thing that really needs to change is your stop loss in pips. We have it for Great British Pound, so British British clients, UK clients, also my American clients as well. That's there for yourselves. Compound interest calculators and future value target calculators. So if you want to, I don't know, you want to set a target, you want to make 10 grand in 5 years, you can do that, and it'll tell you exactly how much you need to make on a yearly basis. This acts a bit differently. This is a compound interest calculator, so this will tell you if I make 20% a month, every single month for the next 5 years, what would it generate with you? And that works as well, just the same. Now, trading data sheet. This is where you put all your trades in. Very, very simple. We could do 0, 1, 0, 1, and then we go here, currency pairs. Well, I've got Euro JPY. It was a buy position. We sold. Outcome, win, account balance before, so you put 50,000, let's say. My equity afterwards was 55,000. Profit, it automatically works out your profit, so you made 5 grand, which was a profit of 10%, and your risk should have been £1,000. That's 2% of 50 grand. So if you have a habit of putting in your next available, if you have a habit of putting your account balance before you fill this out, you'll know that what you should be risking for your following trades. Your following trade should only be 2%, which should be a maximum of 2%. So it's either going to be this figure or half of it, which would be 1%. Yeah. So you know that I should only be risking £1,100 per trade with a £55,000 trading account. So that automatically filters and allocates everything for you as well. Mood tracker. This is what you fill out to get your results for your mood. Mood is 2. I'm feeling happy. My trading performance, well, with my mood being a 2, I had a rubbish trading performance today. Yes, I followed my trading plan, but things didn't go as I wanted them to. Yeah, you then go back to this trading performance overview, and your data will show up here. The reason why it's not is just because we haven't got enough data in on the data sheet. But as soon as, it's actually because I've not put the data in. So if I do 12:01 like that, let me go back to the trading performance overview. You can see that it's added that one day that we've listed on here. So all of this information automatically gets applied from filling out these 2 data sheets. So that's a quick run through on that and what I will be sharing with everyone. What I'm doing now is literally just getting the website updated. I'm in the process of doing that, and then obviously we can get sorting this out. But you'll see here that I've got trading performance guides, mood tracker guides. The reason why I say to do it this way is so we can see how things correlate and see if we can pick up patterns on your trading performance and how things are going. So yeah, that's that. Let's have a look and see what's going on in the markets. Okay, so potential last buy to sell region here. Price may need to tap into before trading us lower. But ultimately we are seeing bearishness throughout, which is good, as that's what we analysed and that's what we predicted. So any short positions that were placed, well done. Price has tapped into this, offered us with clear bearishness. So again, any sell positions from this zone that I suggested, well done. You should be in some good profits there. This one, we had a break of structure take place. We wanted to see price pull back and then trade us higher. Price has done that. So price is playing out exactly as I'm predicting, which is really good to see. If you remember, I said I wanted to see a break of structure. We were delivered that. I wanted to see price pull back into a unmitigated last buy to sell region within this impulsive wave before taking us higher. Price has pulled back, evidently, and then taken us higher there. So that's really good. Price is playing out exactly as we predicted. I'm not giving exact points. I'm not saying, right, I want you to buy and sell right now. I want you to do this. I'm not here to tell you what to do. What I'm doing is giving you zones and areas to work with and directions to trade in. It's up to you how you go about doing that. But yeah, everything seems to be playing out perfectly. Short positions on gold, you should be up nicely. Short positions on NZD CAD, again, should be up very nicely. If we look at a short position that could have been placed here, stop loss just above the high created, take profit down at the swing low. It's currently running 4%, risking 1%, or should we say 4RR? So you're risking 1%, you'd be looking at 4%. If you're risking 2%, you'd be looking at 8% returns from this potential trade here. And then with this one, if we place the short from here to like that, like this. Again, price is playing out relatively well. We're looking at 2RR at the moment. So either 2% or 4% depending on your risk management. But again, that's a very good position. Euro USD, if you did get involved in any buy positions, again, just waiting for that pullback as suggested. Taking price up into here, stop loss just below the trough that was set. We're walking away with 1 to 6 at the moment. So price has played out very well for the 3 positions that I've suggested, the 3 markets that I've looked at, and the 3 directions I've given. Price has played out exactly as predicted. What I do want to see is a take profit achieved on this. I want to see price tap into this, give us some kind of rejection, and we can look to get involved in shorts. Again, I feel like price is going to continue putting in this bearishness with this. We're just expecting price to tap in to this area in price before taking us lower. So I'm expecting price to tap into this box and then trade us lower. XAU USD, I feel as though price could potentially be coming to tap into this here before trading us lower. Let's just have a look and see. As you can see, prices, I don't even think it's tapped in yet. Yeah, so price is looking at this zone. Let's just see how it reacts. And we're going to see a take profit achieved on this. I have no doubt about it. We may, in fact, see price come as low as this candle. That would be nice because it would give you guys an opportunity to get involved if you didn't already. So we could see price actually come down to tap into this before taking us up into this supply zone. However, we can't be certain, but that would be good. Price has tapped into this one. We want to see rejection now. We want to see price continue trading us lower. So you could have looked to have sold from this zone. This price hasn't actually come to tap into that, but we are seeing price continue bearish. So you had the opportunity to get involved in further sells from this zone or from where I originally stated that I wanted to see price go bearish. Price is tapped in perfectly here, so you could have placed a short position on there again, giving you a second opportunity. And then, as I said, I'm wanting to see further bullishness taking us into the zone. However, there could be the opportunity and a potential that price pulls back into this demand zone before taking us up and into this supply zone here. So there are 2 opportunities, there are 2 potentials outcomes with this. We could see this happen, or we just have a continuation in bullishness, but it looks as though price is pulling back to tap us into this supply zone. So tap us into this demand zone, should I say. But it'll be interesting to see. So hopefully you guys got involved in sell positions here. As we can see, price has played out absolutely perfectly. So if you simply placed a short position from the penetration of this zone, a stop loss of 1 pips, price is trading 5 pips, you look at 5RR, that's 5%, 10% if you're risking 2% of your equity. If you did place a position, look to move SL to entry, implement those safety measures, and take some partials as well, just to guarantee and bank profits. But again, this is another brilliant trade. Brilliant trading opportunity. Let's have a look at gold. Yeah, gold is still creating clear bearishness. I think we've just had a break in that low. Does that low? No. So that's an equal low that's been created here. So if we see this low break, that would tell us that this high here would be considered protected. So we shouldn't see price come to surpass that high, in theory, with this correction. As soon as price taps into the supply zone, obviously I'm expecting price to go bullish. Price looks to be pulling back here, very nice. Again, price is playing out perfectly with this. We've had lovely rejection to the downside, so any shorts on NZD CAD, well done. Yeah, I want to see how this reacts. Let's see how this reacts. Let's see if it plays out how we predicted. Be interesting to see now. Going to move this slightly to the right just so we can actually see what's going on. If the live is blurry, go to the settings. I've just seen a comment in the Telegram group chat. If the live is blurry, go to the settings on the thing. Let me just go on myself actually. Just make sure it's not blurry for everyone else. 1 second. But it should be in the settings of the post. Open in-app. Yeah, it shouldn't be blurry, man. I mean, I'm looking at it myself. It shouldn't be blurry. But there is like a settings, and you just change the settings on there to 1080p, and it should be alright. Yeah, it's fine. It's not bad, the quality. Just look at the settings, mate. But the parameters for XAUUSD, the buy position, it's going to be something like this, bud. So what I'll do is I'll put the parameters on. Tony T, it's Tony T. How we doing, man? I'll put the parameters. What I'll do, Tony, if you're listening, is I will send you this in the chat. These are the parameters. All the parameters, although it's not ready to place yet. Perfect, okay. So that clears that up. Let's double check and see what's going on here. Price didn't actually come to tap into that perfectly. That is the zone though, that is the candle that we're looking at. Price may come back down to tap into that. Let's have a little look at this one. Price has come to sweep this zone. Again, anyone who plays shorts on there, be sure to have implemented risk management, so SL moves, partials. If a position, any position that I place, as soon as it's in 3RR, I look to take a partial and move SL to entry, regardless. Because if you think about it, if your position is in 3RR, so if you're risking 1%, it's in 3% worth of profit. If you then close half of the trade, okay, so you take a partial and you close half the position, you're walking away with 1.5%. Yeah, what you're leaving open on the trade is 0.5% because your original risk was 1% and you've closed half of that, so you've only got 0.5% left running, but you've cashed out on 1.5. So no matter what happens, whether stop loss is hit, you are still walking away. If stop loss was hit and you didn't move stop loss to entry, you're still walking away with 1%. If you move SL to entry as an additional thing and as an additional way to implement further risk management, you would obviously walk away with 1.5%. Now, if you're risking 2% of your equity and your 3RR up, you're looking at 6% returns on that trade, yeah? So then if you close half of that, you're walking away with 3% straight off the bat. That means you've got 1% left running. If you move SL to entry, you're walking away with 2%. If stop loss is hit, if you've not moved SL to entry, should I say, you'd still be walking away with 2%. If you move SL to entry, implementing further risk management, boom, you should be walking away with 3% on that trade, regardless of what happens. So, as a rule of thumb, as soon as a trade is in 3RR, so as soon as your trade is 3 times is 3 times larger in profit in terms of pips than your stop loss, look to take a partial or move SL to entry. But this trade is doing very well as well. It's like 5RR. This trade playing out perfectly, and this is tapping into this. See what happens. I should have probably put the video live for everyone, but I wanted to obviously keep it private just for you guys. Obviously, with you being paying clients, I think it's only right to give you all exclusive content, as always, with the analysis and other trades that we are placing and things like that. But I may look to do these more often as a public thing, just so I can give people more trading opportunities, you know. Maybe a case of actually doing this on a daily basis, but only giving the specific trading opportunities to you guys, but obviously giving everyone the opportunity to watch how I trade. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, price has played out relatively well for the 3 pairs that I've analysed today. Giving us opportunities to profit on all of them, which is really, really good. Again, this trade was flying in profit earlier. 3RR, so again, you should have taken a partial or moved SL to entry as part of your risk management strategies. We are now seeing price traders higher. But yeah, I mean, I think what I'm going to do is, let me just see. So that could be left unmitigated as well. Has price tapped into that? Yes. So that it may have grabbed demand from there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day now. Here, we've had 3 opportunities, 3 potential trades that we could have placed here in these markets. Nothing super specific, as I'm not FCA regulated. I don't want to be saying I want you to do this and do that. Down to your personal preference. I've given you the paths and how I want the markets to travel and the direction I want them to go in. So take with that as you will. If you want me to do this more often, I will be sure to do that. And as I say, I think I will be doing more public ones as well, just so we can get more people in here, more folk in here talking. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. If you do have any questions, any queries regarding my analysis, my runs through on these markets, please let me know. Leave them in the comments of the post that you've joined this link on. And yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and film 3 case studies. I'm going to do one for XAU USD, and then there was 2 other pairs that that were quite a recommendation. Let's have a look. So I'm going to do XAU USD, and I'll also do Swiss franc to the Japanese yen, as well as Euro CAD, because they have also been recommended. So I'll be sure to get those made today. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, any other queries, do let me know. Just drop me a message directly on Telegram, and we'll go from there. But thank you.